hold a district meeting, okay? We're hurting for money. So I'm asking, talk to, I'm begging. If you gotta put it on your agenda, put it on the agenda. We need to have road open. And I'm not asking you to open it all the way to Akron, just open it up to our back gate so they can get in and get out and go through Benzine. And if they want to, I don't care. Community members want to cut through, let them cut through. I don't care. But we are hurting. And I need you to please fix this. Talk to whoever you got to fix this and help our veterans out. So we go back to business as normal. Okay, I need a new roof up there. Last thing I want to ask for, hey, if y'all got any grant money you want to throw it away, we'll take it. We'll take whatever we can because we're struggling right now. Mayor, City Council, thank you for your time.
What? Next we have John Herrera. We're with Via.
Yes.
Do you want to wait until we'll call you up? Oh, and Mr. Marks too. Just wait on it. Okay. Deborah McMillan, did you want to wait? Wait for the agenda, please, ma'am. We have Robert Kyle on Zoom.
So what's going to happen here is this mayor is going to have someone speak on Zoom, but nobody can hear them.
Outrageous that they set up this technology to keep here the citizens.
My understanding. And I'm sure the council are aware that we need 40,000 in 2019 such legislation.
Sir, I'm sorry, pause 1 moment. So everybody, it's at 100. There's nothing else that we can do. I mean, it's all the way up to 100.
Who can hear him? Raise your hand.
So, go ahead, sir.
Nobody can hear
That's
you.
all right. I'm just asking if that's okay, man. Nobody can hear him. If that's okay, that's okay. I respect that.
Try on the computer instead of the that's as loud as it goes.
Can y'all let
It's as loud as it goes on the computer.
Okay, listen. Look, can we just get through citizen participation? Nobody can hear, honestly, because people are talking. We can hardly hear him because it's 100. Okay? So can everybody please? We have a lot of people to go through, okay?
Mayor, we're done.
So, again, it's at 100.
Why are you hollering?
Okay?
We're okay with nobody being here.
Sir, I'm talking. I'm not asking you to respond.
Let's move on, man.
I need you to tell me to move on.
Please, let's move on.
Point of order, decorum. You need to be quiet, sir.
All right.
No, sir, you have one more time also. Point of order, decorum. Be quiet.
It's like a
Mr. Kyle?
meeting, though, not like a district convention.
Basically, for the next 5 minutes, this mayor ignores what he says because she can barely hear it. He gets to the end of what they're not listening to anyway, and they cut him off, and he says, I have 2 sentences left. And they take a vote, and she says no. It's disrespectful. That's the way this mayor is. Here she chews her cud. See this in just a second.
So the act provides civil penalties and criminal penalties for violation of its provisions. District courts have original jurisdiction over including a member of
She's sitting up here chewing her cud, just waiting for his time to expire. Not listening to a word. They finally got the volume up a little bit where we can actually hear him.
The court may assess costs of litigation and reasonable attorney fees incurred by a plaintiff or defendant substantially.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Kyle, your time is up.
I got like 2 sentences more. And exercising its discretion.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to Susan Street.
If you couldn't hear, he said, I have 2 sentences more and started. And she just cut him off and called up the next person.
Mayor, before we do this, I'd like to make a motion on the allow him to finish out his 2 sentences.
Councilman
I would
Garza
like to
makes a
second
motion to let him finish the 2 sentences.
I want to third it then.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilmember Garza, seconded by Councilmember Martin, to allow Mr. Kyle to finish his time. Please call roll.
There she is,
Councilmember
chewing her
Garza?
cud.
Yes.
Councilmember Hicks? Councilmember Lozano?
Yes.
Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Councilmember Molina?
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Papadakis? Mayor Gregor?
No. So that was 3-3. 3-3, so just no.
I just hear. Motion failed.
Okay.
At its best.
Okay, council.
It is, no, it's disgusting that this is America right now.
I shouldn't have to say this, but please, Madam Mayor and Council, do us the courtesy of actually looking at us when we speak instead of shuffling your papers and ignoring us. It shows contempt and disrespect for those who took the time to come to this meeting. Those of us who actually have something really important to say.
As she chews her cud.
Okay, I have several agenda items to discuss. Item 8.
So I'm gonna pause this, but basically, the mayor heard what she said, then did exactly what she said when she told her it was disrespectful. She's sitting up here chewing her cud or bubble gum, which she has no problem. She yells decorum, decorum, decorum. It's completely unprofessional of her to sit up here and do this, to glare at people in disrespectful ways, and then to play the little games that she plays. But hey, this is the mayor of Kirby, and you get what you vote for, folks.
The Borchers property lien should be the responsibility of the purchaser to be aware that there was a lien on. When there's a tax sale, who does the purchaser take?
Thank you. Okay, for
Do me a favor and make sure you're not blocking my camera, sir.
My name's Corey Reese. You can start my time now. I represent Blue Lives Matter, an organization about government accountability. Mainly focus on police accountability because when police lie, it has very severe effects on the citizens. But when politicians lie, even the smallest lie, it affects politicians even more. Now, Mayor, I'm going to tell you I'm disappointed in you. And you can tell me to shut up all you damn well want. Damn if you don't like that word damn. Do you want to censor me right now? Or are you accepting of the word damn?
do we need a, can you pause it? Do y'all want, damn was a profanity word to y'all, it's up to y'all. Are you
Are we going to play this game again? Are we?
Okay. Okay, then I'm pausing.
The key word, when you violated my rights, the last meeting, when you waved your banner around and said, read this, and you didn't even read it correctly. If you could have heard the man speaking that he objected to, telling you, hey, we can't hear him. You would have heard the man tell you the same thing I told you last week, but you shut me up. And that is KP 300, actually 0300, and you got the email, and you had the opportunity to research it, clearly states it has to be reasonable. You want to say 5 minutes to speak on every agenda item is reasonable? That's 27 seconds per item. That is not reasonable. Thank you, Councilman, for saying, give the man, he said he didn't say 2 minutes, he said 2 seconds. And 3 of you cowardly, worthless pieces of garbage, as representatives of our city, are going to deny the citizen that, even when we can't hear him? How dare you disrespect the citizen and deny them the right by law to speak on agenda items? Now, you brought up an Attorney General's opinion and you made it clear. You said, but I have the Attorney General's opinion. And I told you, you didn't have the up-to-date. I told you, and you saw in the email I sent you, and if you make me to, I'll make sure everyone in this body is aware that you're aware of what I sent you. I showed you bulletins that the Attorney General updated and said, what's generally reasonable is 3 minutes. That man there told you the same thing. Bill wrote the summarized opinions of the Attorney General about the public's right to speak on decision making. And the very last thing that he stated was the citizen has the right to speak on the authority of 511-007 under authority of the law and as written by the law. He also made it clear in his opinions that this, what I'm doing now, is not considered under the authority of 511-007. And if you'd taken a chance to read and put on the agenda item like I told you to, it didn't have to be an agenda item. But by law, you were required to put the topic I was going to speak on because I notified you of it. The citizen's right to speak. You read the very first thing in the handbook. Tells you that this is not under the authority of 511-007. It's under 511-001 4B4. Did you do that? I told you to do your research. I told you we were coming up here talking. Now, I took the time to make sure Via could come here and speak to the citizens because I know you're not going to let me speak.
Now, to be clear, I'm angry, and I'm saying 511, but it's 551. Either way, I brought Via in because these guys, I knew they wouldn't let me speak on the important subject matter for the time that I needed to speak.
But they need to speak. I don't agree with what you're doing there, but I know you're not going to let me speak. My important key is making sure that you're aware you need to be reasonable. And telling me 27 seconds is reasonable is not acceptable on an agenda item. I'm going to reserve the rest of my time to speak on all further agenda items. Thank you. Stop my time. 117. I'm going to walk outside.
Would implore people to come up here and exercise their 5 minutes that they're allowed. And your response to me was, I quote, bring them on. So those people that are mad at tonight because it's going to take forever to get past citizens to be heard, that's the mayor's fault. I said, this is wrong. Bring them on. So I have brought them on. But what's important for you guys to know is I put forth about 5% of my effort. But I'm going to tell you again, if this continues and you continue to have a rule that limits our own citizens from speaking, I'm going to put forth 100%. I wonder what your response to that is. Is it bring them on? Perhaps we can communicate in the next week or so and figure out where we need to go with this. I don't want to bring a ton of people in here speaking. I don't want to be here any longer than anybody else wants to be here.
Thank you, and congratulations them for their winning yard of the quarter. Next, we're moving on to 8A, discussion and update on correcting the resolution number for the cafeteria plan.
Yes, ma'am. We had given the resolution number originally 764. And then when the resolution with Dr. Rowland was passed, it was given the same number. It is easier just to change the cafeteria resolution number, and that's all we're doing.
Okay, do we need to take a vote on that?
I do believe so because it's a change of the number.
We do? Okay. And what was the new number?
766.
766. And the old number was 764?
Correct.
Mr. Reeves, how much time did he have left?
1
You have
minute, 18 seconds.
Did you want to use that now?
I would like to speak on each agenda item as I signed up to do. Yes, I would.
Okay, his minute left. You can start the time now. Go ahead.
Time started now. I'm requesting from the board a reasonable amount of time to speak on each agenda item. I don't want to waste your time and play games with you. I'm not going to speak on this, but I'm going to ask you each and every time to vote to allow me to speak. Stop my time.
Stop the time. All right, thank you.
No, that requires action.
I thought you said stop, you're done speaking. I'm confused.
Mayor, I make a
Yes.
motion that we allow him 3 minutes to speak on this agenda item. A second.
We have a motion on the table to allow Mr. Reese to speak on this, 3 minutes to speak on this agenda item, first by Councilmember Garza, seconded by Councilmember Martin. Call roll?
Councilmember Garza,
Yes.
Councilmember Hitt,
No.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Papadaka, Mayor Greider,
No.
May I use the rest of my time?
Yes.
3-3.
Thank you. Start
Thank
the
you.
time now.
Start the time.
If you'd have given me the opportunity to speak, it would have taken less time than it would have taken you to make that vote. But we're going to keep pushing this. Stop my time.
Can we stop his time, please?
Motion that we change the resolution number for the cafeteria plan from 766 to 76.
On releasing 4907 Borchers lien due to tax sale. So we have, she's on Zoom. That what you're about to say? Yes, she is on Zoom. Okay, hold on one moment. Would you like to speak now?
I'll wait for the Zoom here. I'll wait for the person.
You can go ahead and speak right now. You can start his time.
I can start my time now. Again, I would ask the board to give me a reasonable amount of time to speak on each agenda item. Stop my time.
Mayor, I move we give him 3 minutes to speak on this agenda item. I second.
So we have a motion on the table to allow Mr. Reeves to speak on this agenda item, first by Councilmember Martin, seconded by Councilmember Garza. Please call roll.
Councilmember
I don't
Hitt,
even bother
No.
waiting for it. We already know
Councilmember
what the vote
Lozano,
is every
Yes.
single time.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
So once again, we're playing games with the mayor.
3-3.
Okay. Does he have time left?
Mayor, I move to give him 3 minutes to speak on this item. A second.
He may have time left, so
Oh,
that's why that's why I was
might
asking,
need
does he have
additional
time?
If I have anything left, I probably got like 4.5 minutes left. Only talked for like 30 seconds.
Now you see, these people are figuring it out. We ain't playing games. We will
A minute and
waste
31
more of their
seconds.
time.
Okay, you
than
can start
they
his
wanna waste
time.
of ours.
I'm gonna need additional time if I could request additional time to speak on this. Stop my time, please.
So who was the motion for? You was first, you?
and I second motion.
Okay, so we have a motion to let Mr. White have additional time, speak for 3 minutes. First by Councilmember Martin, seconded by Councilmember Garza. Please call roll.
Councilmember Hitt,
No.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember
The gentleman
Molina,
has a medical
Councilmember
condition.
Garza,
Yes.
The lights
Mayor Pro
are
Tem
affecting.
Papadaka,
If you're wondering
Mayor
why he's
Greider?
covering his face.
No.
3-3.
Okay,
Okay.
Can you
do
start
not
his time?
No, do not start my
Oh,
time.
so
I'm
he
gonna
doesn't want his
reserve my
time.
time
okay.
until I'm ready to speak again. Mayor, my time
Okay.
doesn't start until I start speaking on the agenda item, not when you say
So,
start. Just so you know.
did you stop his time?
If somebody could check
Okay,
Sally.
thank you. Can you get, the Zoom for, was it Miss Dahlia?
So here we have council
sorry.
trying to gank extra money out of a citizen
Yes, so what you're
who
reading,
hasn't
that's off the
understood the legal.
internet, that is something that was updated maybe 2 months ago, because when I went to auction back in, when I purchased the property, it was not to that extent. Also, what you're referring to as far as what you're reading, that's not the legality per se, or anything specific. That in particular, the one that the lien I'm talking about is the lien for the demolition under the local government code title 7, chapter 214, section O. That the lien is a privilege lien subordinate only to the tax lien. So that one particular lien for the demolition is
Okay, real quick, she's stating that the money they're trying to get from her is subordinate to the other lien, which means that it was covered when she paid the county. They didn't understand that. I don't know why it wasn't run through their legal team before they went after her for the money, but she's pointing that out to them. She's stating she's going to pay the other late fees that are due on the property, but they're trying to gank her for a demolition fee and other things that was already paid because, again, it was subordinate to the other loan. They don't understand this, or the other lien.
One that I want to clarify to be released, because this is subordinate to the taxing. The others for them cutting grass, etc. I could see where those are.
What do I call you, counsel? Okay, so she's stating it's subordinate to the tax. She's stating that it is subordinate to the tax lien. What exactly does that mean? Because we did pay from the city for demolition, and we did, this is money that has come out of the city pocket. So, what we're asking for here is basically just to be reimbursed for those types of things, which should have been something that was specified when we made when they purchased this as a tax lien. So, what defines subordinate to the tax lien?
So that type of language, as well as the language regarding a privileged lien, which is also something that was mentioned. I mean, as you identified, that should be included within that judgment from the tax sale. So the city should request a copy of that and utilize that as well in reviewing to determine whether or not there is an exception or there is a call out specifically that covers our liens.
Okay, so what you're saying is that would be something that's in that what's it called?
If it's not in there.
The judgment of foreclosure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
If
Okay,
it's not
so
listed in there, then it probably is something that's going to fall more in line with state law in that it is subordinate. So that means once that tax sale occurs, then it's extinguished by that.
of course. But it should be in that statement, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Speak on this one.
I'm going to speak on every agenda item as I requested. And again, if you're going to start my time, I'm going to request additional time. Stop.
So you haven't even started his time yet? Okay. So
You answer his son?
he just said to stop.
Oh, okay.
So he said-
I make a motion that we give 3 minutes to Mr. Rice to speak on this agenda item.
A second.
Have a motion to give Mr. Reese additional time to speak on this agenda item, first by Councilmember Garza, seconded by Councilmember Martin. Please call roll.
Councilmember Garza,
Yes.
Councilmember Hitt,
No.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Papadakis, Mayor Gruder,
No.
3-3.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I need more time.
I make a motion that we give Patrick White 3 minutes to speak on this agenda item.
Keep going. There. Hey. Had a motion?
Yes, I made a motion to allow Mr. White to speak on 3 minutes on this agenda item.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion to let Mr. White speak on this, add 3 minutes to this, you said 3 minutes, right?
It's 3 minutes.
3 minutes to this agenda item. First by Councilmember Garza, second by Councilmember Martin. Please call roll.
Councilmember Garza,
Yes.
Councilmember Hitt,
No.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Papadakis, Mayor Gruder,
No.
3-3.
Okay.
I want to reserve my time and speak on the next one.
To speak?
I would like to speak. Request that the city council give me an additional time, not 3 minutes, but additional time to say one sentence on this subject. Thank you.
Mayor, I make a motion that we give additional time to Mr. Reese to say additional stuff on this subject.
A second.
Okay, we have a request by Councilmember Garza, seconded by Councilmember Martin, to give Mr. Reese additional times on this subject. Please call roll.
Councilmember
sorry.
Hitt,
I'm sorry. What was it? Yes.
How much additional time?
He said he wanted one sentence. He said he only wanted one sentence.
One sentence, so
That's what he said.
30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll amend my motion. I amend my motion to give him 5 minutes to speak on this agenda item. Yes.
A second.
Okay, the motion was amended to speak 5 minutes additional on this agenda item. First by Councilmember Garza, seconded by Councilman Martin. Please call roll.
Councilmember Hitt,
No.
Councilmember Lozano,
No.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Garza,
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Papadakis, Mayor Greider.
No.
So there you
And
have
I'll use my time as I have left. How much time do I have left?
And 5 seconds.
I'll start that now. Council, I've clearly demonstrated that you will not even allow a person to make one reasonable sentence. You are tyrants. You are violating my right to speak under the law. And I'll tell you that you definitely should have an outside hiring on this item here. Thank you. Stop my time. Tyrants.
Okay. Problem.
So it says it's discussion and possible action to hire a consultant. So are we looking at more than one consultant, or are we looking at to provide financial?
I think the way it was supposed to be written, right, was hire a consultant to evaluate the placement of election for EDC, right? And then it was supposed to stop there, and then it was supposed to say dissolve or reduce tax from Crime Control and Prevention Board, and it was supposed to stop there, and then withdraw from San Antonio Metropolitan Transit Authority. That was supposed to be the third one. I didn't believe we were talking about 3 consultants.
No, we're not talking about 3 consultants, but we're talking about hiring one consultant who can do the work for whatever we decide on all 3 of those. Because it would be one consultant that we would pay to find out the placement for the election, because we don't have anybody here to do that. Also to dissolve the EDC. We don't have anybody to look in those numbers anymore here. We don't have anybody to look at the numbers for VIA that's here, because as y'all saw in the information that we got received from VIA, the information that they gave us, yes, Dr. Rowland was looking at that stuff, but there's no more further discussion about that because we don't have anybody else who can do that. So we would have to get somebody as a consultant to do that. But first we then decide also, do we just even want to move them? I mean, do it anyways. You know, everybody might say they don't want to do it, period. And they want to just leave the crime control, there, or the VIA there, the tax. So that's the thing. You like to speak?
I want to advise you at this time that in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, because you have not clearly posted what your intent is, any actions that you take on this may be void. Again, you understand you posted this as an agenda item that misled the public to believe that this was a discussion about hiring a consultant for all 3. Anything you choose to do at this point would be void on this item, and I would consider that right now. And that should not count against my time to speak, but it won't matter. I'll continue to speak on this subject.
Is this time done?
17 seconds.
Okay, thank you.
Life, it's been like that. Anyways, I came here to speak because I saw that with the VIA. It's my first time at a meeting, so I'm pretty intimidated.
Okay, first of all, this young lady saw our Facebook post in the community center, and we spoke, and she's like, well, I'm not sure I can get there. I offered to give her a ride. We told her she could communicate by email or do the Zoom, and I'm just happy that she showed up. I recognized her name immediately, and here's the kicker. Her story matters, but the council ain't going to even listen to her.
But I saw that, and I'm coming here to talk. Because if you got rid of that, that's my way of transportation with my daughter. Since the construction started, took away 629, 630, whichever one that was. So now my daughter, who's 4, walks almost 2 miles to get to the nearest bus stop. The other day, we got to use Via Link for the first time, and that was great because my daughter was not tired and fighting me. And she loves the bus. You want some enjoyment? Go on a bus ride with my daughter. She makes everybody laugh and smile. She really enjoys it. But this is how we get to go to the museum, dental appointments. And so I come as a citizen. I've been here for 2.5 years, and we use it so much that it would really be hard on us. We can't afford another car. Either I get another car and lose my house, or I have a roof over my head, my daughter's head, and use the bus for transportation. We're not from here, but we were living in an apartment. We had a store not even 50 feet from us. We had everything surrounding us, never needed a bus. I've never ridden a bus in my life until I moved to Kirby. And so with that, there's no store for me to walk to, and going grocery shopping to the Dollar General with a 4-year-old and having to take groceries back home, that's not as doable as it seems. It's a far walk 'cause I'm on the way other end of Kirby. So I just wanted to come and share, like, it would really affect, and I saw somebody else using Via Link. I'm pretty sure there's other people like me that use Via that could just keep benefiting from it. And so I just hope that it doesn't get eliminated, because it could be a lifeline for people to transport. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. You want the VIA to point to them, or?
Yeah, I would like to listen. Can we let Via speak before?
EDC first, or are we doing? I mean,
Well, again,
EDC, and then
I think
we're gonna go back to. I mean,
well,
not EDC.
again,
That's what I mean.
this is really an idea of hiring a consultant to do these types of things. But I think we should make determinations on the things that we would hire the consultant to do. And that's the reason why I'm saying about 3 motions. I mean, yes, we could hire a consultant to do this thing and hire a consultant to do this thing, and it could be the same consultant. But I mean, I think that we should hear out the 3 pieces, including the part from Via. And I think we should listen to Via and run from there. And then
Everybody else got an opportunity to talk.
So, yeah, I have no problem with VIA speaking. I'm just saying, are we finished talking about the Crime Control Prevention District Board?
I think we should hear, my point is, I think we should hear all of them before we start discussing the intricate parts of hiring the consultant for any of these 3 things. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Because I mean, we're obviously having into a VIA discussion already. And I think we should allow our, the residents to talk, and we should listen to what they have to say about these 3 things.
That's what we're doing. Okay, go ahead. It's like so many semantics in here. Go ahead.
I just want to give you my opinion.
Yes, please.
I'm going to. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't believe in dissolving the crime control. Not at all. I don't mind reducing tax, splitting it with EDC, but I'm not for doing away with the transit, metropolitan transit.
And we paused there for a second. This 27 seconds to speak on this agenda item.
Livelihood.
Outrageous that he's allowed to speak for more than 27 seconds on an item when the citizen can't. I didn't bring that up because he has valid points.
I come from a small town.
And they have a great EDC, but they do that to the citizen.
They do a lot for the
expect them to put up with it.
And it needs to start here somehow or another. Yes, you're right. It's going to take a while to get going. We got to save money to buy land or whatever we got to do to get going. But the only way we can do it is reduce the tax rate of crime control. We can't, in my opinion, we can't take VIA away. That's all I got to say.
Okay. I think with crime control, that if it's 100, so like you said, about 100,000, right?
It's over 100,000 at this point.
100,000. So if we have that, but
I'm going to pause there because they don't even know what their last year's budget was for crime control. It's 140,000. However, street repairs is 153,000. They both supposedly have the same income from sales tax. They're the same percentage. They're different numbers. How they came up with different numbers, who knows? But again, there's an issue there, especially when I, the citizen, know more than the mayor and the council. But they won't listen to anything the citizen has to say. It's kind of ridiculous.
when you say start from somewhere, so like I think there's a property right now that I mentioned in a meeting, on a email that is, I think it's, the land is like 150 something or whatever. So we say we're gonna split that in half. So let's say,
Yeah.
we need all of the money from the crime control. We need all of that money to push forward. We would. That's the way I'm looking at it. We need a good chunk to push forward because otherwise, year after year, we're going to wait another 5 years till it adds up.
We're waiting now. We ain't doing nothing now. It's gonna take 2 or 3 years to get this thing started. That's the way I look at it.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but
Everything's not gonna happen at once.
No, and I understand that, but I'm saying that's the thing with us that we've been doing before. Last time at EDC, we had a discussion where we could have hired a retail management company. That was a year ago. We didn't do that because we said, oh, let's just wait. We've been waiting and waiting and waiting. Nothing's happening. And everybody else around us is building and they're going higher and higher. That's my thing.
I understand, but where I'm coming from is EDC committee and an EDC corporation is 2 different things.
That's right.
Correct.
Right.
No, and the retail management company, yes. And since then, other cities have had businesses since then that we don't now. Go ahead.
Is anybody else signed up to speak? I'd like to listen to what everybody has to say before we have a lot of discussion on this.
There's a gentleman on Zoom.
Okay.
I don't believe he was signed up to speak, but he's requesting to speak.
Okay. I'm gonna make a motion that the gentleman on Zoom, I don't know his name, but I'm gonna make a motion that he can speak.
A second.
So there's a motion on the table by Councilmember Garza, seconded by Councilmember Martin and who is this person?
Ninja's phone.
Just Ninja. Okay. Ninja to speak.
That's what his phone says.
Yeah, this has to be, come on, guys.
Yeah, his name and address, but he's Eric.
Yeah, but seriously, we really.
Do you have a name that we can talk
He was a bit late to call.
Hello.
Okay, so.
Can you hear me, sir?
There he is right there.
Yeah, no, but his name is Ninja. So the motion on the table to let Ninja speak. First by Councilmember Garza, second by Councilmember Martin.
I can't hear.
Please, call roll.
Hear me?
James King.
That's what he said his name is? Okay, come on.
That's what Mr. Miller is advising.
Probably didn't change the thing on.
Can you hear me, sir?
Someone his names. Let me know when I can start speaking.
Okay, can you call?
One moment. James King.
Yes, can you call roll, please? Yes. Thank you.
Councilmember Garza?
Yes.
Councilmember Hitt?
No.
Councilmember Lozano?
Yes.
Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Councilmember Molina?
No.
Mayor Gruder?
No.
Now I'm going to pause here because they have advertised that they have Zoom on their meetings for a long time, but no one's ever used it. And by law, it's required that they announce on their public notice any rules for signing up to speak, but they don't have that posted. And so the gentleman's here to speak. Obviously, he's right there. Then she wants to say, what's his name? And other people are saying, hey, you got to give your name. So he gives his real name. And they still vote no to not letting him speak. This is an outrage. It's unlawful. They had no cause to not let him speak. She can't say, oh, he didn't sign up to speak, because there's no physical sign-up sheet for a person on Zoom to sign up physically. So they've got to figure this out. I've already pointed that out to them, but they didn't listen to me.
Okay, moving on. Did you want to speak now? You want to use your 17 seconds?
After you, but I want to make it very clear I am going to speak.
All right. So we have Mr. Marks and Herrera. Is that
Okay.
You wanna come on up? You wanna come on up?
Point of order, you voted to let other people talk, and you just voted to not let him talk, because you know he's my friend.
Morning, you're out of here.
You're
Stop
a
it.
fucking piece of shit.
Here, order him to take him out now. Take him out now.
You vote to let other people talk, and you don't let him talk, because y'all
Take him out now.
He's with me, fuck all of you.
I'm so sorry, y'all. If you would like to please, if you'd like to come up. Thank you. Thank you. Again, with the stereotypes, but y'all condone this behavior up here. So I love it.
Well, Mayor and Council, thank you for this opportunity to address y'all, and
Okay, now she's sitting there smiling at her other council members like they condone that behavior. Whatever he said that was stereotype, I didn't really hear. He was ranting as he was leaving. Whatever she said, she ain't gonna like what I say when I go up there, because I'm gonna tell her she's a cud chewing cow. She's been chewing gum this whole meeting, disrespectful to everybody in the meeting. And again, has no concern that she just told a citizen who's up there on the Zoom trying to speak that he can't speak because she doesn't like him. I don't care what she likes or doesn't like. He had a right by law to speak. The gentleman who was angry and left had a right to be angry that she and these other two tyrants, there's normally three other tyrants with them. I call them the Fascist Party of Kirby, led by the head fascist, Mayor Grider. But again, they vote to not let anyone speak. People who have legal rights to speak, they don't care. So Mr. Miller's out. I'm going to wait till VIA finishes their presentation, because I invited VIA down here to stick it in these guys' eyes. You already heard they still don't know if they're going to keep VIA or not, but they've held this meeting supposedly to hire a consultant regarding the exit of VIA. So how are we having this? Again, they chose to word what they worded, however it is. Now VIA's here to speak because I invited them. They tried to blindside VIA. I invited them. VIA's going to do their long speech. They're going to give their sales pitch. But the only thing VIA needed to say was, Mayor, you're trying to grab the sales tax money, but you owe us a lot of money, and it will take you 7 to 9 years to pay it back before you can see a penny of it. And if you still want to lose VIA and not have bus service and not get that tax money, do what you need to do. We're out of here. We don't need to pay attention to your clown show. Instead, they give their presentation, which I could have poked a lot of holes in, but they did what they did. Again, I invited them here to do this. So we're going to skip over that part. Now, it should be noted that at 1 hour and 42 minutes, Mr. Herrera starts. Now, he's with Mr. Marks. They said earlier very clearly there is no time passing for other people. They'll have no problem at all letting Mr. Herrera and Mr. Marks pass time. I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with the fact that they signed up as citizens to speak. Earlier, you heard her read it off, and she said, yeah, you'll speak when you're ready to speak. Notice they do not cut them off at 5 minutes and tell them to hit the road. Again, a violation of my rights. If she's going to allow other people to speak for more than 5 minutes, then she has to be consistent across the board.
with me, I believe that was handed out.
I'm sorry. Hold on, sir.
Yeah.
What?
We've muted him, but he's able to unmute himself. That's Zoom.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. So, just a little bit of history here. So the.
Okay, point of order, decorum, that's it. If he's not.
So the person in the background who is supposed to speak and they refuse to allow him to speak is yelling, "You're a coward for not allowing me to speak." Now they can't have the sheriff run him out at the point of a pitchfork like they did me. That's not exactly true, but so all they need to do is mute him, but they don't know how. So instead, what they do is kill everybody else's access to watch this public meeting on Zoom. That's a problem because they advertised it as an open meeting under Zoom, and they can shut him up, but they can't stop him from watching, but that's what they do.
If you keep doing that, you need to cut him off. We're not having that. One more time, cut him off. Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Hare. I really do apologize, and I don't want you.
And again, someone in the audience yells, "Just do it anyway." If I had said that, or Jack Miller, or the other man earlier who said, "We can't hear the man speak," she'd have said, "Point of order, if you say another word, you're out the door." She doesn't do it to people who say things she's in agreement with. Now, earlier when the man was speaking in Spanish, and he said, "I really like your mayor," she turned her attention up, and then she realized he was being sarcastic. Again, these are little things that we notice. So she can go back to doing her thing.
Just go ahead, sir.
So 1978, the state of Texas created the Metropolitan Transit Authorities. And I guess they had what they created was the enabling legislation.
What is going on?
Are we allowed to end
There we
the
go.
meeting on, hold on, are we allowed to end the meeting on Zoom? It was listed on our.
But he's unmuting and yelling, so what are we supposed to just keep letting him do it?
I don't know, I'm just asking.
If he was
because-
here, he would have to leave.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. Okay.
Okay, so how does that
So you're
work?
just not gonna
So
let
if
him
he
in,
can yell
right?
and keep going and unmuting?
No, I mean, we're allowed to throw him out, but I mean.
He shouldn't be allowed to unmute, but if we're having technical difficulties, then he needs to not be allowed to enter the room. And if we don't have that capacity, then we have some technical problems that we need to fix because we've posted it as a Zoom meeting,
That's right.
so it needs to be for the entirety of the meeting. And so we need to figure out why he can unmute himself when that is a capacity that Zoom allows you to prohibit that.
So can we just hold on one moment, sir? Because as soon as they pull him up, he might start yelling again, so.
There's a admit option, so
So you can pull him up and then he won't be able to yell and we can't hear it.
if he tries to join back, it'll ask me to admit, and I don't have to do that.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Okay.
So they've kicked him out of
Thank
the
you.
meeting
All
instead
right,
of
thank
muting
you,
him
sir.
because they
Your
don't know
meeting,
how to
Mayor
mute him.
and council, I definitely appreciate what y'all are doing tonight. So let me say thank you as well. So late 70s, the state created enabling legislation. That was the word I was looking for. Enabling legislation that.
Now, I should point out that when we got kicked out of the meeting, we tried to view it on Zoom. We were unable to even view it on Zoom, and that is inappropriate. If a citizen can't view it on Zoom, it should never be listed as an option under the open meetings. Posting requirements, again, they mentioned it, the attorney explained it to them. You know, if they can't handle all that and they want to say their technology is incapable of not admitting people or not keeping people from speaking, it doesn't change the fact that the people still had the right to view the meeting through Zoom, and they've not allowed that to happen. So I'm going to pause.
Those types of things. I mean, what if we did want a bus stop there at the Conviva? You know, it seems like a spot that should have a bus stop.
Well, there's one right.
So we forwarded up to 216.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
They finally finished speaking at the VIA. Now remember, they started at 1 hour and 42 minutes. So they didn't just speak for 5 minutes. No, they spoke for 45 minutes. And that's okay. But if I try to speak for more than 5 minutes total on all agenda items, and they spoke on a third of an agenda item. Keep that in mind, folks. Is that fair?
we tried, so.
Yeah, that's not gonna
So
happen.
that's out of the question. We have no choice.
Madam Mayor,
To,
I'd signed up for this item earlier. I spoke for approximately 4.5 minutes. I missed one item I wanted to bring up. And with your permission, if I could reclaim that 30 seconds that I had, I'd appreciate it.
Caitlin, do you have that on there?
I had him for 25.
20, yeah,
Okay.
25
Okay.
seconds left.
okay.
With your permission, if I may speak.
Yes.
Okay.
You signed up, right?
This agenda item is talking about hiring a consultant. You are coming here to talk about hiring a consultant before you conferred with the most important consultant, is your constituency. You are looking at taking my tax-paying money from me so that you can pay someone from outside this city to tell you what you want to hear to justify your actions going forward. It should have been coming to the
Thank
city
you.
first. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
17.
Okay.
I'm going to go off on him. Already planned this.
Council, I think you already know I'm gonna ask for more time to speak. It's required. This is an extensive item.
Mayor, I make a motion that we let Mr. Reese speak for 3 minutes on this item.
A second.
So we have a motion on the table to let Mr. Reeves speak on this item, first by Councilmember Garza, seconded by Councilmember Martin. Please call roll.
Councilmember Hitt,
No.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
No.
Councilmember Garza,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Papadakis, Mayor Gruder.
No.
3-3.
Okay, I warned you about this
Thank
before.
you.
I told you I will speak in accordance with
Okay,
state law.
so
you make
we
your
can go
decision
ahead
now
and
what you
go-
want to do. I am going to speak.
Sir, point of order decorum,
You can point of order to quorum you want. I have a legal right to speak and I'm demanding that right.
sir, you've had your time to speak.
No, I have not.
Did he not? He has how many? Huh?
9 more.
9 seconds? Okay, go
You've
ahead.
already cut me off there. There's a point. Number one, you didn't tell these gentlemen they only had 5 minutes. They came here not as your invitees because I invited them. You didn't have the courage to invite via
So-
to let the citizen know you're a cowardly tyrant.
Okay.
I'm finished, I'm walking
So you're
out.
done. Okay, thank you so much. Thank
You
you.
do not get the right to sit there and lie to the citizen.
He's out.
Every
Point of order
time
decorum, he's
you
out.
come in here.
Keeps going.
Mayor, you're getting really out of line. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Okay.